Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Truth Tuesday show with your host, Akeem, on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. I hope everybody's doing well. It is May 24th, 5 months down for the year, and we be back doing our New Year's ritual. Um, I'm getting a lot of people saying that they're checking off that list of things that they had. Oh, so my hold on a second. Something was on my headphones there. Uh, they're getting a lot of those things. First, before I don't want to start talking and y'all can't hear me. Is everything sounding good to you guys? Is everything live and direct? And you can hear me clearly. You know what? I have my other PC up here. That can help me out a lot. I'm on the delay, so oh yeah, they can hear me. My other computer's telling me. So what was I saying? People are checking off their New Year's rituals, uh, getting those things that they put on that paper, the intentions, the wishes, the accomplishments. They're checking them off. It's happening. That's why it's good to write down your goals so that you know where you want to be for the year. I've got a lot of things checked off. I could do better because I gotta really get good with writing this stuff down more. I'm gonna really get on that. So if you want things to happen for you in your life, you have to write it down. You got to make your vision plain. The Bible speaks about that. You have to see it in your mind first, write it down. And this what the whole New Year's ritual is always about. So, I'm preparing for New Year's now, thinking about okay, what's the next year's goals? I got half of these down. Now it's time to talk about next year's goals. So I know around us we have all of this craziness going on. The title of the show, The World is Out of Control, and it is. People, and the reason why it's out of control is because people minds are out of control. And there's a deliberate attempt to place you in a constant state of fear. It's monkeypox now. It's all of these variants, cases going up. It's just they're gonna keep pushing this cycle. Why? Because it's working for them. People are buying into it. They're gonna keep pushing this narrative on you because you're buying what they're selling. You believe what they say, and 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 it's not unusual. It's almost to be expected because we've been programmed from day one since we hit their systems, school system, their religious system, their political systems. They've been giving us their agenda from day one, and all they're doing is their job. They're carrying out their corporate bylaws right now, and one of those corporate bylaws is to keep their commerce going, their business going. And how they keep their business going is making you a product of it. And what is the product? Your mind. Once they control that, they got everything. And you can take back ownership of your thoughts. You don't have to sit here, okay, they got these things going on, but you don't have to be in fear of it. You have to know within yourself that you and your family is going to be okay no matter what goes down out there. No matter what shortages, you're going to be okay. The ground is still fertile, meaning you can still grow food. You can still grow it. There's food staring you right in the face. you know. And the reason why we have issues is because we have placed our food supply, our needs in corporations. They put it there where we buy it from them instead of going to the source and getting it. Working our hands and getting it dirty and doing it. Instead of going to the source, we go to the third man, the middleman, who's doing all kinds of things to the food to make it profitable for him, for his family. So if everything goes down and collapses today, there's no need to fear. Why? Why do you have to fear? But people are going to be in fear because they don't know how to take care of themselves. They're so dependent on systems to do everything for them that they will lose their mind if they don't have those systems working. But all these little things that's happening are just indicators. They're telling you what you need to do. The market is down, the stock market is down. What is it doing? All those gains that happened all of those years since 2008, they're going to rob your 401k now. Again, these things ain't happening because it's just happening. It's planned. Let them grow. Let those 401ks grow a little bit. And then we're going to steal all of the profits and just leave them what they put in there. So basically, you just put your money in a glorified savings account. If you study the stock market, you study 401ks, very few people actually get out the profit of their 401ks. When you look at the ups and the swings of the stock market and how that works, they just pretty much put their money in a position in something that is pretty much giving them back what they already put in. Small percentages come out on top with that. Unless you're pumping large amounts of money in there, you're gonna you're just gonna get pretty much what you put into that 401k. And it takes what, 20, 30 years, 25 years to see anything out of it. And most people borrow against it throughout the years. They're hoping for that. But the bigger question is, what is the banks making off that money? All of these billions of dollars sitting in these accounts, they are making. You're just giving them money, your hard-earned money to them freely so they can make more money off of you. They don't have these accounts for your benefit. They have it for their benefit, for their gain, and give you the illusion, oh, this is for you to set you up for your retirement. You can set your own retirement up if you started a business and it was making multi-million dollars. You set your own retirement. You set your own where you want to put your money in things, in real assets like land. That's a real asset. Like gold and silver, that's a real asset. Cash used to be something, but now, looking the way things go, our dollar probably worth nothing. Right now, the dollar can't even buy anything. It's taking, in some places, almost $6 to buy a gallon of gas, 1 gallon. And seeing how a lot of people drive big gas guzzlers, that's not going far. It took me and I don't have a gas guzzler anymore. It was like $80 to fill my car up the other day on a non-gas guzzler. So if I still had my gas guzzler, that would have cost me a good $100, easy. Whereas 3 years ago, I was paying top when the gas was at its peak $60, when it was on average $50. So that's double what I normally would pay. So just me, my family, we're doing good. And the reason why we do good because we have a mindset of abundance. We think abundance. We don't think about and have the fears of not paying bills and stuff like that. We make it happen through our mindset, and then it manifests to us. So it's very important that you keep a check on your thoughts. It's very important that you keep a check on your minds. And I'll repeat this every week, telling you guys that. But it's also good to keep a finger on what's going on. I got what's the name? I'm saying what's it? Gilbert Rivera be on. He's gonna give you the state of what's going on with the housing market. And it's not good. All of that blissful high houses at their peak and all of that stuff, that is slowly it's fizzling out. The foreclosure market is up astronomically. Now, all of these people playing games with their mortgage with this 1099A stuff and trying to do all these fancy loophole crazy processes that people are dedicating videos to. And these people, let me read y'all. What's this scripture? This is a very good scripture here to read. And it's Matthews 15:14. It says, the New International, let's see, what's the King James Version? It says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. And that's what's going on. These people are teaching something to the public, to people, about how they can do this quick fix to fix their problems. And even the stuff they're quoting is not from any laws. And they say, oh, well, I've studied. See, studying, you can study a lot of stuff and just it'll be the wrong stuff to study. They were actually quoting people that are in jail for teaching the same thing they're teaching. So obviously they didn't look that far. David E. Robinson, give yourself credit, author of that book and a bunch of other books. He went to jail. But this is what they're promoting out there. And I'm telling you, the only way to your real success is you taking your mind and put it in a success mode. Your success is not going to be in someone telling you how to fill out a tax form and getting rich off the treasury. It's not happening that way. Okay? It is not going to happen that way you can go get rich off the treasury, because they giveth and they can take it away. And I know people who have successfully gotten millions of dollars, didn't get any trouble, but guess what? They got greedy and wanted more. And now they want to take it away. You see? I was just reading. Let me see, because Gilbert's getting on. Make sure he's not waiting out there. I think that's his number. Hang on, let me check. I don't think so. Oh, I don't know. He's not on yet. Um, I was reading something up on nonprofit corporation churches. I have figured out. Once you set up your church, that's him texting me. Okay. Once you set up your church, you want to, go to all of the stores and places where you want to do business and make sure that you're getting your tax exemption status. So you don't have to pay taxes on your goods because you are in a ministry and you're dedicated to the upliftment of the community you're living in. And so I was just going through different states looking at stuff. And then, I happened to read something. I went back, I've read the 501c3 code over and over and over again. And it's always good. But see, when they teach the 501c3, they always skip to that third one. No one even talks about that second paragraph. I'm going to touch on it right now. Oh, and I'm gonna elaborate on it when I do the. I'm looking for the five. Mandatory. All right, here it is. So you got the 501c3, but I just went and read it thoroughly, and I read 50c2. 50c2. It says corporations organized. Let me share this. Let me share this to y'all. Let me share screen. Chrome tab. Boom. So y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right. It says corporations, I'm reading here too. Corporations organized for the exclusive purpose of holding title to property, collecting income therefrom, and turning over the entire amount thereof, less expenses, to an organization which itself is exempt under this section. Did y'all see that? So this is list of exempt organizations. And then it said number two, corporations organized for the exclusive purpose of holding title to property, collecting income therefrom, and turning over the entire amount thereof, less expenses, to an organization which itself is exempt under this section. So what this is saying, you can set up a corporation. Y'all do know there's trust of corporations too, right? It can be corporations. But you can set up an entity for the exclusive purpose of holding title to property. So that corporation can go by and take title to property. It could collect income so it can make money. But then it turns over all of the money it makes is over to an organization which itself is exempt, like a church. They all exempt. So if you set up a corporation that's exclusive job is to take title to property, make income, and then you take the money you're making and give it away to your church. You take public money and turn it into private money. That's really what this is saying. But I'm gonna break this down, further in the seminar coming up in New York. I didn't talk about this in the first seminar. This is an add-on. I'm gonna talk about this further because there's a lot of you guys that already have corporations set up, and you no need to go get set up a whole nother corporation. Just go get your new EIN that's exempt. Boom. But uh, Gilbert will be on in a few minutes. He just texted me. He said he's running the car through the car wash. So that's what I'm talking about. That's how you build wealth. And if you really want to know what wealth and how it's built, look at all of these big corporations. Look at your big names that's making all the money. I'm sure they're doing 1099s, but they're not doing it this what I call the ghetto fab way to get rich quick. None of these people are trying to do 1099s. None of them old businesses. Some of them might even be receiving public assistance. And most of them, from what I could tell through my looking around, they're on the verge of getting evicted. So basically, these are people with no money, broke, trying to come out of their brokenness through schemes. And those schemes is going to make them have more problems. And there's people promoting these schemes. And like I said, 7 years, this stuff has been taught every which way. I have never seen one person be successful with that stuff. Not one. And even the ones teaching, oh, we still haven't gotten funded yet. We haven't got funded yet. We haven't got funded yet. Every video. But yet they're doing thousands of returns for people. These things. piling it on. All right, who's out there? We got go back to we got uh discipleship ministry, peace, Corinne, happy Tuesday as usual. C King Bay, uh no time, 714. Daryl G and Maximo always in the house. J Butterfly. Oh, but anyway, I don't know. Uh I think he's saying I can't. Gilbert is on. So let's go to Gilbert. He's on Blog Talk. He called in on Blog Talk. I see his number there. Hey, peace. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hang on. I always do this echo thing. Hang on. Let me figure out what's going on here. All right. Um, take this one off.
Unmuted.
All right. How's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Let me make sure everybody else can hear me because I'm kind of streaming live here.
Oh, okay.
Can everybody hear Gilbert out there? You know, on YouTube, it takes time for the people to catch up because it's like a few minute delay.
So I know it has a lag.
Yeah. Let me see. They said they can hear you. Good. Okay, now I got to just remember these settings. Oh man, it's just all right, so what's going on, brother? Foreclosures, housing market. How's it doing right now?
Well, they went up 140% last month over last year. So this is climbing, and the bank. I just closed $1,040,000 loan with my friend, and I was talking to the bank, and they're cutting back the loan to values, and they're looking at appraisals really hard now because the refi boom. The rates obviously in January were 2.5. Now they're up to 5.5. So then at that, but I'm still modifying. I just had a call today from a client that refinanced and have to do that COVID deferment for her so she doesn't affect her credit bureau. I did another one on the 9 months. So it's still, it's bad. I mean, technically, if you look at in 07 till now, I mean, 70% of the people are technically late. Just like the rents out here in Sacramento, they can't kick them out. But there's so many resources out there. I just discovered two by luck in January. So like I sent you that $1.2 million FHA. I think I emailed you that modification, and that was a recovery modification. So the banks are doing some different things right now, but it's still, it's just so many people still try to discharge those mortgages and play games. And I go, that's not going to work. You know, I'm tired of hearing it. We've been friends and dealing with it for years, and no one can show me anything. So even before they start, I go, look, you either modify the loan or 1-800-U-Haul, walk away. Because there's no other option at this point.
Right.
That's what I tell everybody.
So no discharge, huh?
Because they all come in. Nope, you're not going to get rid of it or show me proof. I just had a guy call me, said he has somebody in Chicago that puts him in court. I go, I can put you in court. Akeem can put you in court. But what is that going to do?
Right.
It's not going to do anything. So if it's an illegal foreclosure, yeah, we can do that. Remember that property tax bill where that guy was talking, but he never sent you the right information. If it's something that we know that they bought like that property for $1,000, which I know that was a scam, then, but you know, then we'll fight it. But you're not going to beat the system. You know, I had one guy that they're both really good, but they had a referral
Mhm.
in Atlanta. And the lady's house went up for foreclosure, and she's at the auction. And I go, well, if she hasn't paid her mortgage and has no money, why is she at the auction? And I go, I can reverse it if she calls me. And I go, but she has no money. Oh, she has no money. Then why was she at the auction? This does not make any sense. So I go, stupid.
That's the part that get me right there. People are going years. Let me just ask you. I'll just make this like an interview. How many years have you seen someone go without paying a mortgage while it was in Florida? What's the most? Foreclosure. What's the most you've seen? How many years?
Well, my friend, I've kept him in the house 12 years, but I file injunctions. But that's a legit deal because I have a balance reduction letter that they won't honor. We talked about that, about they putting him in court for the FDCPA, but that's mine. But the people that referred on, I think it's been like 4, 5, 6 years. But I make sure my friend doesn't go into foreclosure because it's California. So I make sure that. But I've had him 12, but I've seen 5 or 6 years. But COVID, that 2 years was a watch. But now they're starting to foreclose. I just had one. They popped it in June, and we had all the paperwork in, and they keep saying they haven't received it. So I told them I'll stop it just to make sure. But, I've seen maybe 6 years, I think. I've seen some, unless you're in an attorney state like Florida or New York is crazy. So, but I mean, my guy, I've kept him there. He's a friend of mine, and I'm still fighting. So now I can go with the recovery modification and some other stuff. But there's money out there to bring the loans current now. There's specific departments for that.
So they'll pay it? They'll pay it to bring it current?
They'll pay it. Yeah, every state will give you money now. There's certain guidelines. I had one where we have to make one payment because it's the stipulation. There's a certain 2-year gap, and she makes one payment, and they'll give her $40,000 to bring it current. She was worth $300,000. The bank was trying to take it, and she only owed $68,000.
Wow.
And we blocked it. I ended up blocking it. Yeah. Yeah. So I go, no, single mom, 5 kids, no, it's not going to happen. And then we had to go through like corporate office is the office. And the lady asked, attorney? And I told the customer, she goes, yes. But I go, no, it's just stuff that I've learned. But, I'll help the people, but as long as you tell me up front and don't tell me all the issues where you transfer title and you're doing all this other stuff that doesn't make any sense. That I'm going to find out when I do the mod because it all will come out. So, but I mean, people go longer. They go longer with their processes, but the court system is so slow right now. But eventually, you're going to have to give it up.
Right now, the reason why I ask is when they come to get help or assistance from myself or you, and these people who haven't paid a mortgage for all of these years seem to never have any money to fix the problem. Well, what are you doing? My thing is, what are you doing with the money? You had a mortgage, you stopped paying it years ago. So what are you doing with your money all of this time?
I ask that question all the time.
What kind of responses do you get?
I don't get a response. It's like, and I tell them, well, if you had to pay rent, what would you do if you had to pay rent? If you had to pay rent, they're not going to let you go with rent. I mean, they're starting to evict everybody now.
Not 5 years.
But how is but if you're not paying the mortgage, you're throwing the money away. Who knows what you're doing? I know everything has gone up. Obviously, everything has gone up, gas, food, but if you rent, that you can't buy time with that anymore either. I mean, you can't go to the gas station, they'll pay you 5 years later.
Right. No, but that's the thing, all of these schemes that they're coming up with, these same people never seem to have the money to take care of business when they get under the gun to fix their problems. And for some reason, they hold out hope for some type of nonsense other than just getting a job or just go working to get your money. See,
Oh, I
so
know. No, I hear it. I hear it all the time, and I tell them, I go, well, you can't pay your rent. How are you going to pay if you have rent? That's you're going to have to pay that now. So I
right.
mean, the mortgage is nothing different. I mean, you're going to have to pay it. So I mean, people tell me all these processes, and not one. There was a guy when I first came on your show, and he told me, I'm just a stubborn old black man, is what he told me. He had me laughing, and he calls me after every time we do a show. He calls me up, and and he tells me, well, what can I do? What can I do? I go, we're done talking. We're done talking. I told him 1-800-U-Haul, and I haven't heard from him since. I go, I don't want to deal with you anymore because you waste my time, because nothing you ever do, it works. And he told me, you were right. Everything you said, you were right.
And that's the sad part. That's the part right there that gets me. I've 7 years. I tell people, I warn them, and I have never been wrong. Never been wrong. And they come back and they do it in silence. When they were all flamboyant about what they were going to do, they were loud. Yeah, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. Well, my question is, prove it. Show me. I get feedback on my channel. Well, it seems like you can do it this way. And my thing is, stop telling me what it seems like. That's not a fact. So I tell you, since you think it seems like it worked, like, go try it and tell me how it goes. And they come back, in desperation. Huh?
We've asked for paperwork. Remember, you showed me, and it was just a court document that was filed. We asked for stuff. You've asked.
Yeah, but it's not proof. But it ain't proof. No, exactly. It's junk. It's something that they trying to interpret as a win, and it's not.
Nope. They don't win. I mean, I see it all the time. I'm here by the federal court in Sacramento, so I may take my friends and do it. But I know I'll win because I have that letter. I'm still trying to fight them, but it's still, the banks will win. I've had people prove fraud, and they still sided with the bank no matter what. And I know it gets personal with the customers, but I ask people all the time, well, where's my proof? Where's the proof? And then, we'll call you. I go, I'm off on Thursday. Call me. I mean, I deliver the cannabis from 2 to 10 every day. I can take calls anytime. Yeah. But I go, call me on Thursday and we can talk. And I'd never hear from people. I had someone tell me he's talked to attorneys and he figured out the Q-sips and all that other stuff.
Oh, man, that's old right there. I'm tired of hearing about Q-sips. Like, okay. The problem with Q-sips is this. How are you going to prove that number is real on that paper? Because the person who's selling the Q-sip number is not going to come to court to testify on that. So, it's not real evidence. It's just, to me, I bought a Q-sip before and I looked at this thing. It was no certification of what was on it. Just tell me a number, some numbers of how much was being traded and all of this stuff. But I was saying, but I can't take this in front of anybody to say this is a fact. It may be real, but in court, they want facts. And I got to bring someone to say that is a fact. So the issue is simple.
Well, they try it. I've had people, even in California, try it, and it doesn't work. I mean, other attorney states, sometimes, you'll fight them for so long, but one that you sent me in Maryland, she proved, and they still sided with the bank. She actually had proof of something and sided with the bank.
Yeah, you're talking about the one where they sent her the saying that it was paid off. Is that the one you're talking about?
Right.
Yeah, but see, her problem was this. When she went to court and they questioned about it, she said she issued a bond. So she undid their evidence. Because they were saying that, well, yeah, we did give you that, but it didn't clear. right? They never said in their thing. See, this is why people don't have to read and understand what these things are saying. In the document, in the court papers, it said she issued a payment and it didn't go through. They used those terms, right? They didn't say it was a bond or it wasn't a bond. So she had a hearing and she got bad advice from someone, right? And
Yep.
the person, we both know him, didn't told her to say bond, that she issued a bond. I was like, why would you say that? I said, let me ask you a question. On the paperwork that when we had our consultation, did I say anything about a bond? I said, you issued payment. I said the same thing they said you did. They said your payment cleared and you owe us nothing. I just reiterated what their papers. So I said, look at what I gave you and see if there anything in there says bond. So why in open court would you say you issued a bond? Because that's what happened. The judge, when she said bond, the judge was like, well, what's a bond? And the judge knows what a bond is. The judge knows what a bond is. But they know you don't know what it is and how to explain it. So she trapped herself. So they used her words and shut her down, and they sided with the bank. Because, okay, you put in this evidence that you made a payment, but then on open court, you're saying something different than what that payment is saying, that paper is saying. But she got advice from someone who also is in foreclosure and having won one thing with all of the process they've been trying. See, this is what I tell people. These same people giving you advice, they either don't have a house or they're in foreclosure themselves. So it's like the example I always love to use. If I want to be a millionaire, I'm not going to talk to someone who is not a millionaire. If you want to get out of foreclosure, you're not going to be able to get someone going through foreclosure is not going to be able to help you because they're still fighting their case. They're not successful. You go to someone who's an expert on that.
I've asked that to a lot of people. Do you have a house? No. Well, how do you know? I do. I mean, I left $400,000 liquid when I moved to Sacramento because I couldn't. My son, it's going to my son, but I checked the value of the house worth over $500,000, $800 mortgage. It's going to go to him. But I walked away with all that money in the account. But right. I know because I know what the house is worth and I check it. But it's going to get to my son. So I asked him that, do you have a house? No. Well, then how do you know?
Right.
Did you try it? Yes. Again, back in the day in 2007, and I've shot you balance reductions and all the customers that go, these only work with subprime loans. Everything is government backed, VA for veterans, FHA for like the 3.5 down, or you can go up to 85, 90% on a refi. Fannie Mae, which is 80% value to the house, and Freddie Mac. That's all that's out there. Now, my friend that I just did the $1,040,000 loan was a bank statement program. Mm-hmm. And I got it approved at a 586 FICO. 586 FICO. I've been working on this stuff since January and got it approved, and done with bank statements. But, the FICOs kept dropping because credit, I fixed the credit and it went down. I did it the right way. But, that's that we can go that low, but it's a hedge fund loan. So right. It's basically they pull the money from the hedge fund, but came in at 1.8 million. And, we did like 60% loan to value. So it's a secure loan, basically. Right. But that's the type of stuff that, that I know. But they're checking all those because I know a bunch of rules and regulations just came out last week. So everything's changing again. But with the mods, I mean, I'm still modifying. I'm still faxing. That 1.2 million, it took me 8 months to do that damn thing. Right. I mean, just faxing because they can say they never get it. I do the work, and I do the work, and I do it. And I tell people, I have to fax multiple times. I'm doing the 4th VA modification. The first time took forever. The next 2 times, same customer, same bank, 2 weeks. First time took 4 or 5 months. The second time, 2 weeks. Third time, 2 weeks. This time it's taken longer than the first time, going through the same headaches. It just depends what underwriter you get. I made sure they weren't going to sell it, so I blocked because I knew what was going to happen, and I made sure they're not going to sell the house. But I'm going through the same issue. I mean, I must probably have 40 fax confirmations for this poor customer.
Right.
She's not stressing the first time it was, but I go, remember how fast we got this done? And now I'm faxing and sending and faxing. It's just they're getting bombarded with stuff again, and that's the problem.
Right.
You know, and
So
then there's certain lines that VA and FHA have that they're waiving right now because of all this COVID stuff that's happened.
right. So what can you do for somebody? They're in foreclosure. They may be even up for sale. What can you do for them?
I can stop any foreclosure. It's only going to be good for 30 days, but the modifications they're going to do, it doesn't matter if it's a government back or a non-QM, they call them loan, they're non-government loans.
Right.
So you can modify it. Sometimes there's certain guidelines, like I said, the FHA and VA have a certain guideline. They're waiving a lot of their restrictions right now because they're going to have to. And there's a bunch of different programs that came out. But again, you don't know until you fax it. But if you've been like that one that I just showed you, they haven't made a payment in like 6-7 years, I think, and paid $40,000-$50,000 on scams. And yet it was the one that they paid the less.
But they could have paid that on their mortgage.
They
They could have gave $50,000 to their mortgage.
I know.
I've seen someone do about 30.
I know.
And I said, you could have just took that and paid your mortgage that you had. You could just pay that. Well, but see, people COVID, get suckered into that because they're looking for an easy way out, a quick fix. And that's why they're getting suckered. That's why it's happening that way. All of that stuff sounds good for them, and they chase those little things. I mean, I've gotten caught up in that myself, but I got to a point where, wait a minute, hold up, let me back up off this. This is not. Then I started reading the rules for myself, and I realized none of what they're saying is based in any facts, other than someone's opinion of what they think is the right thing to do. You see? So.
Well, I mean, I'm always learning. I keep learning. That's the thing, we've done, because I've helped you personally too, and for a fact, because I still remember when you told me I've never seen this documentation before, but I know because I'm always changing. I'm always adapting because the banks keep adapting. There's certain departments now that they call that you need to. That I just found that out too. That you have to go through if you're going to get to bring your mortgage current. So.
Right.
The modification is just you need somebody to help you because, you fax. Well, I didn't get it, or this got cut off, or that got cut off. So I fax an email, but that's the only options you have. I mean, and everybody has their interpretation. I could send it to 10 different banks, and I'll get 10 different answers on the same person because Wells Fargo and B of A are the worst ones to deal with, and Chase. The servicing companies will get it done pretty quick. You can get those done pretty fast, but you're dealing with the banks. I mean, they're headaches, and then people argue with me about they file, the county, they'll file something in the county that they've changed, like, say the new servicer. Well, that's illegal. Well, how is that illegal? So, you hear all this stuff and people say it and, well, prove it. How do you prove that it's illegal? And then I see it all the time. They keep going. Oh, I'm gonna put the house in a trust. Well, that's not gonna stop the foreclosure.
No, they still keep pushing, dude. I mean, it slows it down, but it's not gonna stop it for sure.
No.
Yeah, it slows it down.
I'm gonna put that but it's not gonna do it. It's still gonna foreclose. What's the difference? You're still gonna, it's not gonna do anything else. Yeah, but I mean, if they help, I'll do it. I mean, I tell them straight up, this is what's going to happen. So and I tell them, now with all the changes and guidelines, and they're constantly changing everything. And I learned because I've called FHA HUD directly and VA directly for customers, and it's taken me 2 weeks to get through to them. But I finally got the answer, and they told me so. Yep, 2 weeks. They never answer the phone, so I just brought the file with me while I'm delivering cannabis. Call. Finally got through one day, like right before the 5 o'clock because it was back east in Washington, and finally got through. So, and I take calls all the time. I mean, I'm California time because right now it's 5 o'clock my time. So I've taken calls for people at 10 o'clock my time, which is 1 o'clock in the morning their time.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to hide. I'll call you. I will call you, and I will fax it. Just, give me the paperwork, and I'll fax it in. And I'll get it done.
Yeah, I know sometimes people don't always like the results of their modification. What happens in these modifications when they we do the loan? I know a lot of them is they just put they haven't been paying for years. Well, I'll let you explain it. You can explain it better than
Well, yeah, you haven't. FHA, I mean, they can do two things: a partial claim. Let's say you owe $50,000, your balance is $3,000.
Right.
Or they can put a partial claim at the back end of the loan on a silent second at 0% interest. That's what they'll do. Or they're going to modify the whole through arrearages and throw it in the loan over a 30-year term. You have to pay it. It's a government loan. You're not going to get away. So you're not going to get rid of anything. VA is real easy to deal with, especially with veterans right now. But they get mad. Well, I can't afford that. Well, you haven't paid in 7 years. What do you think they're going to do?
Right.
You're not going to get it. That's illegal. Well, 140,000. That's illegal. It's not illegal. The banks you haven't made a payment. That's what's going to happen. These are not subprime loans, so you're not going to get rid of any of these loans. You're not going to get rid of the balance. You're not going to get rid of nothing. Subprime, yeah. I have one I'm doing that's a subprime, which that one may get a balance reduction because it's a subprime loan. Those you can, that we may have a shot with those, but with government-backed loans, you're never going to get rid of those. It's not going to happen. They're going to, if you owe $50,000 in arrearages and your balance is $250, they're going to slap that on there. Attorney fees going to go on there. Everything's going to go on there. The escrows that they haven't paid, property taxes they haven't paid, homeowners insurance, all that's going to go back on there.
Yeah. So, right. That's the part they did. I think people overlook. They want to start as if they never were late, and then they get the sticker shock of what it is. They were like, "Oh, what's going on?" Well, you haven't paid, so they're gonna. I think they call it something capital. Is it capital
the capitalization, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen it on there. Yeah, but and everything's government backed now. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there's still subprime loans out there, but a lot of those, like one, I think we may get a 2%, which that's what I'm hoping for because it's a subprime loan. So even if they put their arrearages at 2%, that's a free loan, basically. Right. So, we don't know, but that's because it's subprime. Again, we who knows what's going to happen. So,
right. All right, Gilbert.
But I mean, I'm on it.
Yeah, just give the people your information so that they can call you.
Yeah, and you can call me on my cell phone anytime. Yeah, at 909-772-1948. I am in California, but I will call you back. I'm up at 6 in the morning every day anyway. So just call me, and I'll help them out.
And I just want to say he's not into all of the fancy process. He's going to work you into more modification, whatever he can do within his expertise to get you good, back in on track. The whole idea is to keep your house so you have a place to live. It's a lot cheaper to pay a mortgage than it is to pay rent right now. Okay, just letting everybody know. So,
well, that's one I want to briefly tell you where one of them in Chicago, it wasn't even in the boyfriend and girlfriend's name. It was in the ex-girlfriend's boyfriend's name. She got it approved for $1,300 a month. I have no idea how, which was rare, but she got it approved, and he needs to sign it though. But the ex-boyfriend, he wants nothing to do with it. and it was only 1,300. And I go, well, how much is it? He called me 6 months ago, and he told me the same thing. Everything you said was the truth. Well, the mortgage payment's 1,300, but and then I go, what's rent? 2,200. They don't
I
want to
mean, that's a
pay.
no-brainer, right?
They don't want to pay. Yeah, they don't want to pay. Period. They just want to buy time. Well, so next time they call me, you know what? There's nothing we need to talk about at this point. But again, it's like that. Yeah. So that's exactly rents are higher than most, of the mortgages now. So
Right. I've seen people lose their home with a lot of equity in it trying these processes. And I've
yep,
sent them to you.
they're entitled to.
I've sent them to you. They didn't like what you were saying. You're very well. I think what it is people just don't like hearing the truth. They want to hear you talk to them about what they think is gonna work, and you're just telling them straight up, "Hey, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm good at," and it's not going to change. It's not going to fit the narrative of what you believe. It's going to fit the narrative within your expertise and how you can fix their problem. You see, so
The right way, not all the scams and paying people to do stuff. So, but at any time, I mean, I know you refer a lot of people to me, but it's going to get worse. So, at
yeah, I
this point,
know.
I'm going to be picking and choosing.
I
I'm gonna
personally
pick and
don't
choose. So either
invest my time in it anymore. Like I'll just say, you got a problem with the mortgage, talk to Gilbert. That's where it is. Because and I tell them straight up, there's no quick fix here. You're gonna have to start paying your mortgage every month. You took a vacation from it for some years. Now it's time to pay.
yep,
It's time to pay if you want to
or
live in
pack.
your home. Because until someone comes along, which I don't think it'll ever happen, and show me something that they did and they was able to get rid of it, okay. But no one's done that. I'm 100% on that. No one has come and proved me wrong
But
yet.
we're still waiting.
Huh?
Me and you are still waiting. Me
I'm
and you are
still
still
waiting.
waiting for that.
How long I've been dealing with you? 4 or 5 years now? I mean,
Yep, yep.
and no one has
No, we're
come
still.
and proven us wrong.
No.
No one, not one, zero. So with that type of track record, I mean, I don't see how people would even try to come up against that. Just pay your mortgage
Conservative.
and stay in your house because it's
Exactly.
cheaper. Over time, you'll pay it down. You have some equity in it. Property values always go up. We might go through a dip here soon, which I think we will dip, but I don't think it's going to dip down extremely. I think what's going to happen is people are going to lose. A lot of people are going to be losing their homes, and you're going to be able to buy homes at a discount for a little bit because the bill comes due eventually, no matter what it comes due. All right, Gilbert, thanks for coming on as usual.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
All right, take care. That's Gilbert. Somebody's got their hand up. But before I pick that person who's got their hand up, you cannot get something from nothing. If you're not investing in your space you're living in, if you're not investing in that, don't expect to keep it. See, a lot of people look at paying their mortgage like it's a bill, it's hard. Well, you can pay the mortgage, you can pay someone else high rent. One or the other, you got a choice. Or you can live on the street. You pick one of the three. Be happy in paying your bills. I'm happy when I can pay my bills. Here. Why? Because I'm always going to generate the income 10 times that amount of that bill. I circulate that money and boom, it comes right back to me. I learned that a long time ago. I used to hear all of these people with these fancies. I even tried it one time. Never would do it again, ever. I will not do that again. I'm very good at dealing with the court system, but I hate dealing with them. So I want to do things to stay away from them. I'd rather be out here generating commerce and making things happen on the end through my trust and my businesses. I'd rather do that. I'd rather follow the example of the billionaires. That's what they're doing. They're making money through their corporations and their trust that they have set up to protect their assets. You see? So all this other stuff, these little people getting on YouTube, yo, y'all could do this, and they get a lot of attention. There's one theory I've always followed, and have not gone wrong yet. When I see our people with my complexion, running and flocking to something by the droves, that's usually telling me I need not mess with that. Because for some reason, our people have this something for nothing attitude, and if it's free, they running for it. If it's something that they can scheme and try to wiggle their way out, they run for these things. I know some of y'all getting mad at me because I'm saying it because I'm talking to you, but I don't care. Because maybe it'll wake you up and start thinking maybe we should be doing better as a people. The reason why we don't do better as a people, because a lot of people are scheming, making up schemes, trying to do it the fast way, the easy way. And we take our money and give it to every other group of people that don't even do businesses with us, will never do business with us. We still give our money to them happily and cheerfully. But when it comes to doing business with your own people, you want to question it. You want to look up it, under it, over it, sideways to try to find something wrong with it so you don't have to pay for it. Why are you trying to charge your people? What are you talking about? Those same groups of people who do business, they do business with their people, but they do business in such a way that it comes back to them. They do business with each other. Keep the money in the community first. But no, we do it in that complete opposite. We take our money out to the community, to other communities first, and then whatever's left over, which usually is not much. The only money that really stays in our community is through our barbering and beauty services. That's the only real money that stays in our community. You can open up a barbershop, you can open a beauty salon, and if you're good, you'll make some decent money. Still not going to make you a millionaire unless you open up a place that has multiple chairs. And I've seen barbershops with multiple chairs making good money, but because the lack of financial education, those same owners end up still going broke, making all of that money because they don't have financial discipline. People want to show off before they put the money away or reinvest it in other things. And that's our issue. We don't educate. We don't read anything. We don't read the things that are necessary to make us prosperous. So when I see in YouTube and I see everybody, I got my kids taken by CPS. I got this. And I've seen all these lists of problems. I'm saying to myself, a lot of these problems wouldn't exist if people just change their mindset. See, when you see people doing these things to help people, even these food banks, these things of good cause, they're fixing the symptoms of the problem, not the actual cause. That's why people continue to go to food banks and all these things open. But a lot of these business corporations open up these nonprofit places to give because it's money to be made there, because they only have to give a certain percentage of the money they collect to the actual cause that they set it up for. So they can make millions of dollars off charities. You know, if I give $1 to a cause, I think 7 cents actually has to go to the cause. I think that's the last number. It's a very small amount. I could be wrong. It's a very small amount compared to what they collect. Because why? They'll say, well, I got this expense. I got that expense. I got this because they got, they got to pay their expenses to be a nonprofit. So there's money to be made in opening up these courts. But so what that means is they're really not trying to fix the problem of poverty, homelessness, and all of that. They're making money off of it. Maybe the people on the lower end are who are volunteering at these organizations believe that they're doing that. No, to fix the problem of homelessness and poverty, you have to start where Christ started. Where it was said you must continue to renew your mind. You must think on the things, good things, positive things. Keep your mind in heaven on the higher things or the higher consciousness of God. That's what brings you wealth, true wealth. All right. We have a caller, 407-663.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, what's going on? Peace.
Fantastic.
Good.
Peace.
How about
Hey,
yourself?
what's that? What's Gilbert's number again? Fantastic.
What?
My friend. What's Gilbert's number? What is it? All I got was 90. I was trying to get a pen.
So I'll put it in the chat too. Hang on. (909-772-1948). Let me put that in the chat for people to get.
So that's 909-772-1948.
Right. You got it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking to you last week about something, but you told me you don't want to get into that. I don't know why.
Say it again?
But I had an issue. I was trying to talk to you about something, and you say you didn't want to get into it.
Talking about CPNs? Yeah, I don't talk about CPNs on YouTube. No.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right. So I guess I'm gonna have to call you personally then.
Yeah, if you want like help with that process, you have to set up a private consultation with me on that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I don't know. Are you in my private group? Premium group?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I need
then
to
we can talk about it there, but
not yet.
Yeah, just set up a consultation. We can talk about that. But that type of stuff, I mean, everything I teach is totally legal. I just don't like talking about it over the public airways because you can tell the truth, but they'll still give you problems. So I don't really get into that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I'm not only on Blog Talk, I'm streaming this live on YouTube as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What it is, I purchased the Tri-Merge. And I had an issue, and for a whole 2 weeks, I was unable to open up my emails. So now that portion where you have to follow through with, I missed that whole thing. So and it expires. So I've been trying to contact them, and they you
didn't buy a Tri-Merge from me because I don't sell that. So.
No, not from you, from legal CPN.
Right. I don't even recommend anybody use that site at all. I've been stopped letting that was years ago. Like I would fool with them.
Oh shit.
You do.
Oh damn.
They still around, but I tell people not to mess with them. Because like you say, you got issues right now, right? So
yeah, $200.
Yeah. It's a lesson.
Yeah, everything is. Everything.
What happened when you used that? We're still talking about CPNs now, but I mean, you still want to talk about that?
We offered it. It. So what am I doing? I'm gonna set up something with you.
Yeah, if you really want to learn how to use that stuff properly, get a private consultation. I can break it down for you.
Done.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, brother.
all right, boss. Thank you.
Akimel.com is the website.
All right.
All right.
To be honest with you, I just started with you guys, man. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm
Got
still
you.
learning. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thanks.
All
Thanks
right,
for
boss.
tuning in. All right.
No worries.
If you guys, anybody got a comment, question, the number is scrolling across the screen right there. 563-999-3615. If not, I'm going to shut it down. Because I said, I done preached all I had tonight. Talking to grown folks about how to handle their business. Stop running for the schemes. And you know what's crazy about these people teaching this and the people that listen to it? Oh, I see a lot of gurus teaching negative stuff about this. And these are the same people still trying to prove it right. Like, what's negative? It's not negative. And first of all, let's talk about negative. There's a negative is part of the process of life. There's good, there's bad, or what we determine to be bad. There's ups and downs, there's positive and negative. If you didn't have a positive and negative, your current in your house, your electricity wouldn't work. It wouldn't work without the other. So it is a necessary to hear some negative. That's what they call criticism. It's necessary. Why? Because you might not understand how your behavior is affecting the people around you. And if you're one of these people trying these processes and you got a family, it's good to hear the negative things about that process because you're putting not only yourself in jeopardy, you're putting your family in jeopardy. So that's, to me, good negative information to me. Tell me, hey, man, hey, brother, you might not would think twice about trying that because this is what can happen and what I have seen happen. 100%. I have not seen one person win in that situation. And I have helped talk to countless of people who have tried it. And they end up in a worse position than when they started. Like Gilbert said, you get so many years behind, and then when he finally comes in and swoop in and help with the foreclosure, get you back where you can start making payments again, the numbers don't look good. I've seen some okay, and I've seen some like crazy. I guess it depends on where you live and what the situation is. Everybody's situation is different. But here it is. You still have a place to live. And you have to be responsible and take a hit that, hey, man, I tried something and it didn't work out. And own up to that. You gambled like Las Vegas. You went to the crap machine and then you crapped out. Snake eyes. It's a lesson learned. We all make mistakes or we all make decisions that don't work out for the best. When you hear a person like me get on who's in this information for long and telling you do not do that, I'm not telling you because I don't know anything. I'm telling you that because I know a lot and I've seen people lose all the time with that. And 99% of the time, the situation was worse than when they started from. So it's up to you. All right, everybody. Let's see. No more hands up. Nobody's. If you want to say something, you got to press that one button. Okay, one. I saw a new caller on there, but I guess not. Well, with that being said, I'm going to. Oh, you know what I forgot to say? Seminar coming up. I had the picture up there, didn't even talk about it. Here it is. The seminar is Sunday, July 3rd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to be talking about religious nonprofit unincorporated associations, religious trust, religious exemption, asset protection, student loan debt elimination. Going to touch on that. Donation $350 online or at the door. It's at 240-08, 135th Avenue, Rosedale, New York, 11422. That's actually Queens, New York. Also, for all my premium members, I have set aside a 20% discount for you guys. If you go into the premium membership, in the membership area, the code is there. So go into log in, and the code is there, and you get your 20% off. Yeah. And for non-members, I'm gonna probably give y'all it's gonna definitely be a smaller one, and it's gonna be limited, probably to about 5 people. First 5 that can grab the code. I'll announce that in the coming days. Get on my email list. Go to my site, ikemail.com. Put your email there and subscribe. I will send out the code to the non-members who are not part of a code. It is definitely not going to be as good as that 20% that I'm giving the members, but it'll be a discount, so you can come and get a taste of what's going on at Hindsight Radio and what's being taught. Teaching you how to operate in commerce privately and so that you can profit at the same time. And that is it for tonight. Appreciate everybody getting on. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. And what I'm going to do. Oh, one of the things I was doing also, I was about to say also, I've been showing y'all old buildings from New York. I'm going to go through every state and show y'all how they done took your heritage away from you and claimed it for themselves. And then they saying they built these buildings 100 years ago when these buildings was there way before that. Your ancestors left a empire here. New York is called the Empire State for a reason. And then you can see the Moorish construction of a lot of these buildings. I remember I did a show years ago about that. How the Moorish architecture throughout New York. So when you look at these buildings, a lot of these buildings your ancestors built, and then the what you call invaders came in and just took them over. History is deep. So let's see. I played it at the beginning of the show. So I'm going to play it again. All right. Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to all.